I think he asked Big Bill Brunsey. He says, Big Bill, that blues music you play, you call that folk music? And Big Bill says, well, I've never heard no horses sing none of it. I told you not to mention wild folk dancing. Here we are at the Parsippany Historical Museum with Jack Lingle, who's the director of the museum, and his wife Lois. We're going to go inside in a minute and meet her, and we're going to play some music. And so we welcome you to Horses Sing None of It with Lou Gelfond playing on the mandolin here. My name is Ralph Litwin, and we're going to take a stroll inside now and see the inside of the Parsippany Historical Museum.
So join us.
Here we are, we're inside the museum now. That was doodly-doo, was it?
Not yet.
No, not yet?
That was Red Wing.
Red Wing?
The steel guitar rag and the Southern Melody.
A whole bunch mixed in together there.
It was a medley.
Now I wanted to ask you before we get too far about, there was a tune that you taught us before we played on the porch. What was the name of that one?
The Down Home Rag.
The Down Home Rag. And that style of dancing.
That's a buck and wing dance.
The buck and wing dance. Tell us a little bit about the history of that.
Well, the buck and wing dance goes back to even before the Civil War. A lot of the steps were introduced from some of the plantations. A lot of the blacks had done those steps, and also it's supposed to have derived somewhat from the Irish clog dance. It was a combination of steps that were sort of incorporated, and it resulted in after the turn of the century, when vaudeville started to become popular, it resulted in a dance that became a classic. And today, I think they're beginning to revive it, like Hines and some of the shows that we see on television and in the theater today, like taps and those other shows, are efforts to revive the tap dance, not only for the dancing, but also for the exercise for older people. It's recommended.
And what's it say on the other side of your hat now? You've got your hat facing one way and the sign facing the other.
Oh, come on! I want to get that on there. What do you know? But I
definitely-
didn't. I must have put it on and
This is
put this
Jack,
on
this is-
afterwards. Okay.
This is where we are.
Now we get it. Now we're at Parsippany Historical Museum.
Right. And what kind of thing has it taken to get this museum going and keep it going?
Well, it's the township owns it. The mayor and council have provided a budget, so there's a lot of work to be done here. We've put a 10,000-foot parking lot in outside, installed that. We're on the we have two courses. We're on the final course of it. We had a new roof put on not too long ago. We have a new heating system. We have the whole house was scraped down right to the bare wood and repainted, and numerous other things. Now we're refurbishing, of course, the inside here.
See by your pictures that you've got historical pictures of local towns, Mount Tabor, and is this really? This is Lake Hiawatha
Lake
in the
Hiawatha,
30s?
yes, in the
Not,
30s. That's
Lake
what-
Hiawatha doesn't exist anymore,
Not
does it?
anymore, no.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So they're actually, well, a guest we had on previously, the first show actually was Henry Nierenberg, who lives in Lake Hiawatha, and I think we asked him.
Where is
where
Lake
is Lake
Hiawatha?
Hiawatha? Well, here it is.
That's where it used to be. Yeah.
That's the Lake Hiawatha.
Now, well, there's a swimming pool. There's a country club in the Lake Hiawatha Country Club swimming pool. They gave us this picture, as a matter of fact. It says down here, the board of directors of the Lake Hiawatha Country Club, because they're moving some of their apparatus and some of their various buildings down there. So
Now, you go out to different performance sites, nursing homes or different
nursing
places.
homes,
What kind of
hospitals.
things have you been doing? And around this area, what type of places have you been going to? And
Well, we were across the street to the Baldwin Oaks. We're up to the what's the name of that? Brookside apartments. Last week we were up to Picatinny Arsenal. Week before that we were down at Carbondale Day down in East Hanover.
do you want to give us a little rendition of what kind of music you'd be playing for these places and these people?
You mean play the music?
Sure,
Yeah,
give us a taste.
All right. Well, let's play Doodly Doo.
Great.
Okay, Jack and Lois.
Well, there goes the pig. I'm 70 years old now. You have to have a little patience here. Please play for me that sweet melody called Doodly Doo, Doodly Doo. I like the rest, but what I like best is Doodly Doo, Doodly Doo. Simplest thing, there isn't much to it. You don't have to swing, just doodly doo it. I love you so, wherever I go, it's doodly doodly doo. Please play for me that sweet melody called Doodly Doo, Doodly Doo. I like the rest, but what I like best is Doodly Doo, Doodly Doo. Simplest thing, there isn't much to it. You don't have to swing, just Doodly Doo it. I love you so, wherever I go, it's Doodly Doodly Doo.
All right, doodly
You
doo.
know, I missed a harmonica there.
I haven't heard that
I
song
wonder-
before.
No?
Is that who made that
I don't know
song
where we-
popular?
I don't know where it came from, but that was a song that was popular in Boston.
Yeah, it was in
It's a vaudeville
it was
song.
in one of my
Music.
music books, I guess. That's where we got it from.
Uh huh.
I don't really know, who wrote it or anything.
But it was popular in the
Picked
20s.
it up.
20s.
With your group, you have a Civil War group. What kind of activities do you get into with that group? And
Well, we're studying the second battle now, this Bull Run, which was after the Battle of the Peninsula Campaign in
what year was this about?
62, 1862.
1862.
The first battle of Bull Run we studied about a month ago, and that was 1861. And we have about 25 members in this group, and most of these people are people that are really enthusiastic about the Civil War and what led up to the Civil War. Like a lot of people remember Civil War and the causes of the war as being slavery. Well, slavery wasn't the only thing. There was so many other things, other factors that actually came into play before the war started.
Economic factors?
Well, there was the cotton gin. That had something to do with it. Eli Whitney, back in the 1840s, he invented the gin that was able to
take the seeds out of
take
cotton.
the short crop cotton. And with that, the South, using the cotton gin and using, of course, these servants, or these slaves, they were able to produce more cotton than than the North. And the North, of course, was more into industry. And then you had the other factors that came into play, like the Kansas and Nebraska Act, Missouri Compromise, and the growth of the West and all that sort of thing, and the what was the name of that famous case? I can't remember his name now. That they were forbid to allow him to be a free slave because even though he had worked here in the North. And
Is that Dred Scott?
the Dred Scott decision.
Wow, I remember.
This guy's a Civil War fighter. See that? But most of us know some of the fundamental developments, But when some of these people that come here to these meetings and get discussing it, they've had relations that were in various regiments or battalions or whatever, and they know the history of that particular area, the soldiers from that area. We here in Parsippany, we have a soldier whose name is prominent, that went in the war in 1863, and his body was sent home in 1864, and it's buried up here in the Presbyterian Church Cemetery. It's the Vale Cemetery. And he was buried there, and we have letters that were written home by this boy when he was in the service. We have something like 32 letters of him communicating or writing to his parents, and the parents had saved these letters. And, well, there's so many other areas of the Civil War period that are
Just
very exciting, very interesting.
to bring that onto a more personal and musical note, you showed us a little harmonica tune before that was taught to you. I think you said your grandfather or your great-grandfather?
No, it was played after the Civil War period, because the harmonica came out about 1846, I think it was. And it became quite popular after the Civil War. And some of the songs that they played weren't anything like they play today, because they played them mostly for a dance, or maybe they played My Old Kentucky Home and those songs. But the one that I showed you was this one here. It's called Creole Bells. That's part of it. There's a little more to it, but that give you an idea of the tempo and the timing of the music that they...
That was taught to you by whom?
I picked that up from a Civil War veteran
Uh-huh.
back in the 20s. I can see, I was around in the 20s. And I can remember him playing the harmonica and playing those tunes that he said came from that period. And that one I remembered. And I got it, and the harmonica was quite popular in the 20s and 30s. I think it was the 30s that the chromatic came out, wasn't it?
You got me on that one.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll have to refer that to Mr. Honer.
Well, I think your first chromatic came around, because I can remember people playing the harmonica. And then when the chromatic came out, that was really big. I mean, it got to be a very popular instrument.
Yeah, my dad used to play the chromatic too. We had an old, huge chromatic at home, and he used to get into that and do a harmonica.
That's when they weren't $125 a piece, right?
They're expensive now, yeah.
No, they are, yeah. They were about $10 at that time.
Well, do you have a tune that you can play together for us? Another selection there.
Yeah, sure.
Play along with you a little
What do we
bit.
have there, Lon?
Nellie Gray.
Nellie Gray.
Nellie Gray?
I'm sure you know that one. suppose we do, let's see, Charlie, how about 18 again? Okay?
Sure.
18. It's a slow tempo. In a bar down in Dallas, an old man chimed in, and I thought he was out of his head. Being a young man, I just laughed it off when I heard what that old man had said. He said, I'll never again turn a young lady's head, nor go racing off into the wind. I'm 3/4 home from the start to the end. I wish I was 18 again. I wish I was 18 again. Going where I've never been, where old folks and old oaks stand tall, let's pretend. I wish I was 18 again. Time turns the pages, life goes so fast, age turns the dark hairs all gray. I talk to some young folks, hey, they don't understand the words this old man's got to say. I wish I was 18 again, going where I've never been, where old folks and old stand tall, let's pretend. I wish I was 18 again. You've heard Burns do it, haven't you? George Burns?
I haven't heard him do that particular song.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's done that a lot.
Yeah, that's the one they all request.
All
Okay.
the people in the senior, well, most seniors, no, they all enjoy it, don't they?
Seniors like that.
That's a pretty song.
Yes.
Very pretty.
Yeah.
They can all relate to it. Because they're all old. All these
Some people
people.
got, the mayor said the other day, do you ever see any people that are younger than you in those heroes?
Lois, I thought we'd ask you to talk about or play a tune for us. Do you have anything you've selected that you'd like to do?
Well, I love to do hymns, and actually, well, we thought of this when we started this, going around to different places that it's sort of an evangelizing effort on my part anyway, and I like to play these hymns and hope that it might touch some heart somewhere, you know, and so I enjoy that particularly. And so I'd like to sing this old Rugged Cross, which is quite familiar, I think, to everybody. Most people know it. And they seem to enjoy it in the places where we go.
This is Gina.
No, see.
Oh, C, okay. All right.
On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross where the dear rusted was, where a world of lost sinners was slain. So I'll cherish the old
Okay, well, you're gonna let me tell that joke?
Well,
Yeah,
so-
sure.
So, as a musician, we thought we'd appreciate a couple comments from you and.
In the area of some of our exposure? Well, I'll tell you, we were playing in it was a senior citizen affair, and there must have been maybe 100 people there. There was one old guy who was sitting down in the front. And we were playing My Old Kentucky Home, and I could see it, the tears were rolling down his cheeks, you know?
For reality.
Yeah, the tears were rolling down his cheeks. And I thought that it was such a sentimental song that he must have been from around Kentucky. So afterwards, I went up to him and I said, I noticed while you were listening to us play My Old Kentucky Home, the tears were rolling down your cheeks. You must be from Kentucky, and it must have really hit your heart. He said, no, he said, I'm a musician. I think that's funny.
Okay.
Okay.
This didn't really happen. You just made that up, Jack, right?
Well,
It could
Coulda
happen
happened.
very
Coulda-
easily.
could have happened. Could have happened. What do we have next year? How much
Well,
time is?
I think our time is about
Yeah.
to run out, and we
Okay.
decided that we
Do the
would
Saints.
close up with the Saints Go Marching In. Maybe
Okay.
we'll sing.
We'd like to make a statement that if anybody would like to join us and has particular talents in the Parsippany area, please give us a call. And the station will have the ID numbers and call at the end of the show. So please feel free to call us, and we'd like to meet you too.
And tell them that age is no barrier, right? Age is no barrier.
Age is
Not
no
at all,
barrier,
no barrier, because don't forget that.
Beauty, you have to have beauty. You have beauty here today.
And we're still playing, and actually, God forgot to wind us this morning.
I have to change the battery of my mandolin. Pardon me.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, Saints come marching in, right?
Yes. Well, it brings back memories too. That was the first song I ever learned when I was
Really?
9 years old, and I played the ukulele.
No kidding.
Yes.
Do you remember what the first song was that you might have learned?
We
Yeah, some of the first things, or when you first picked up an instrument, what was the first instrument that you picked up and learned? Was it harmonica?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I played the piano.
Piano? Do you still? And your daughter plays piano.
Yeah.
And is it Butterfield?
Yeah,
Lori
Butterfield.
Butterfield.
Lori Butterfield. And she's done some concert work, Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Right.
She played with the New York Philharmonic.
Mm-hmm.
She won the Peabody competition, and she went to Johns Hopkins, and she played concerts. And she won the state classical musical competition at the Garden State Arts Center.
We might have to visit to have a
She-
little visit with her
yeah.
later on
Yeah.
in the year.
Yeah,
Get
she's-
her in touch with us.
You might say she studied under Boulanger in Paris. If you've ever heard of that name, that's Mademoiselle Boulanger. She's a famous person. She had the opportunity to study with her.
Well, Jack and Lois, it's really been a pleasure for us to have you visit Horses Sing None of It. We thank you for inviting us here to the Parsippany Historical Museum, and anybody certainly know how to find you in the phone book, I guess. And
Yeah, we certainly appreciate
And
it.
how come those frets are so worn out down there?
Yeah, they're really
You know,
Play 'em off
I
a
bought
lot.
this banjo from what was the name of that group that was on Lawrence Walk? Those girls that were singing the commit. They were
Oh, those 6 girls.
6 girls singing. I bought this from their father. I guess, yeah. I guess he must have played it quite a bit.
I played tenor too. I was looking at that tenor going, looks good.
Yeah, it looks like it's
Fortunate to have it.
pretty
yeah.
good, yeah. No
Yeah,
kidding.
definitely. Good tenor is hard to find. Nice resonator, nice short neck, let your fingers fly over, you know.
Yeah.
It's good
I
stuff.
used to have one of the gondoliers, or gondolas, how do you call those?
Well, these are flatback Gibson mandolins.
Is that a Gibson?
Yeah, about 1916.
Can't compare it with the ones she
That
sold.
sounds good, really.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
fun.
Both sound very good.
That's the first time I've been that close to a Gibson.
Playing.
All right. Well,
Okay.
thank you so much. And Ralph, what's coming up in the future on the show? Do we have any things lined up? Or?
Well, we have some future guests. I guess Mike Agranoff we're going to see sometime in November, and Royce Anderson we're expecting to see. Royce is a songwriter who writes a lot of songs about New Jersey. Mike Agranoff plays concertina and guitar, ragtime style guitar. And that's just a few of the people we hope to be seeing.
And possibly a hammered dulcimer player or two, maybe John Calkin from the Hunter Folk Exchange might come out. And I'm sure more local people also.
Yeah. So thanks for having a visit with us, and
Thank
thanks
you.
Jack and Lois.
Thanks for
Lingle.
coming down, giving us a chance to get some exposure for the museum, because that's what we're interested in. Getting people to know what's down here. It's being refurbished, and you can see anyone that goes by here. We have the flags out in front that commemorate the appreciation of the flag that everyone's talking about today after the Supreme Court decision. But we'll be open soon as we complete the refurbishing here. And we'll have programs. We have scouts come in here and work, and we have the community workers come down here and work, and we have the gardens, the club that comes down here and does work on the garden. And we have a lot of other activities here, but we're not really organized yet because of the need for exhibits and artifacts and heirlooms and relics and things relating to the town. But we have some, and we'll be going soon with the encouragement and the support of the township officials. We're making good progress.
Very good. Thank you. Bye-bye.